Hello lads, this is Lolly and you are watching Arx Fatalis Hacktoberfest 2024, the show where I'm trying to make something cool throughout the whole month of October for Arx Fatalis. We are approaching slowly the end of this little monthly sprint, because this is day 29, but for today I've got a good couple of small but hopefully interesting things to present to you all, and if it is not interesting then I'm sorry. Bruh. Let's dive into the first topic. I've managed to watch a tutorial online on how to create an extension for Visual Studio Code, and so I did. Here's the Arx scripting language support, and currently I don't know how to publish it, so it works locally for me and I'm gonna try to publish this, but for now it doesn't do anything apart from setting the colors to the comments of script files. But more importantly, I can go into any of the files, go down here and select language mode, and here's Arx scripting language available. Also, I can associate it by default to the ASL files, and also I haven't managed to find a proper way in Visual Studio Code where I could tell an extension to automatically come with an encoding. So I have to go to the Visual Studio Code settings JSON, which is in userland. It's my own settings and everyone else will have to do it also if they want to use it, and have to add this thing manually. But now we have the magic available. I can go into Graph, Object 3D Interactive, any of the folders, and just click on any of the files. Boop! Check this out. It's automatically set to ASL and automatically have the encoding, the correct encoding set. I'm so bloody proud of myself. With a gazillion hours of research and sweat and tears, I've managed to create what comes out of the box in Notepad++. But another subject. I am still knee-deep inside the Katamari project. I wanted to copy over some of the better functionality of Goblins without actually having to copy everything over from here, and I will probably explain this in another Modding Academy episode why this is necessary. Let's just say it. If I want to create this main script and I want to add something to this, then I have to copy everything from here and add my stuff, like append to it. And if I want to tweak any of the instances of the Goblins, then I have to tweak any of these ASL files over here. Well, this is the smallest of Goblin scripts I have seen so far. I've tried to copy over the simple behavior of Goblins talking to themselves, like saying, "Me soon have promotion. Soon, me important top goblin." Yeah, I tried to copy this one over, the behavior of just randomly rambling about. Guys, have you ever tried understanding what's here? I'm purposefully scrolling this fast because this is so bloody long. What the fuck? What the hell? Me off us. It's still going. Oh my goodness, oh my bloody hell, why is this over 1,500 lines long? It's almost 1,600 lines long, and I quite remember profoundly the discussion on TTLG forums where one of the developers or testers or any associate with Arcane mentioned that, oh, it will be very easy to modify the contents of Arx Fatalis. Scripting will be like a breeze, like walking through the park on a sunny afternoon. No, it's bloody not. Why do we have to go through 1,600 lines of code for Goblins? And this is just the Goblin part. I mean, yeah, I know it contains the Goblin Lord and the Goblin King, but that is minuscule compared to the main behavior of the Goblins, and this doesn't even contain everything that a Goblin does. Let's look at a specific Goblin, just to illustrate some stuff. So you think that everything is here that is regarding Goblins, right? Let's look at Goblin number 17. Yes, I have checked the number ID off screen. It's Atok, the traitor. Very nice. It seems like a fairly small script. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Very nice. Still going. What the hell? Like, On top of this default behavior of goblins that we saw here with 1,500 lines of code, we get another almost 500 with Atok. Let's go to number 13. Anouk the Cook. Oh, I'm fairly sure this will be like a 10-line of code addition. Nope. Nope. No. It's even worse than Atok. What the hell, this is just 3 lines short of 600 lines of code. I mean, it's a fairly verbose expression for a behavior that is just bringing pies back and forth between the throne room and the kitchen, and occasionally saying
Wizards Gizzards!
Have you guys seen the player script? Just to move over to a different area. Woo! That's 530 lines, it's less than Anouk's script, and this is the player script. The player is simpler than Anouk the Cook. Less capable.
You're not as clever as goblins.
Alright, I'm gonna not continue roasting the script files, but instead I want to show you guys something very cool. Cue the scripting music. Let's do some funky little scripting with the player's script. I have already copied the player script into the Arx installation directory, so let's try extending this. I'm going to go into the Arx Libertatis wiki and I'm going to rely on this main event, which is sent without a sender to every entity periodically when not dead. Very good, so it will get called like periodically over and over again, and in that I'm going to go with this hero say command. And just to spice things up, it's going to display the contents of this game seconds variable in game time since the start of the playthrough in seconds, so it's going to be a very shitty clock. On main, accept, and then hero say game seconds. Okay, I'm gonna save this and let's try this in game. Very nice orchestra of goblin sounds. So as you can see on top of the screen, we have a number counting up. It doesn't really work out for me because the lines are printed under each other, so let's try something else. We can display 4 different lines of hero say text. Let me illustrate that. I'm going to print out this game seconds 4 times after each other, and let's see how that looks. Very good, but we need to have this printed out 1 time. So let's see if I can print out an empty line for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th lines. So 4 lines, from which 3 is empty. Okay, that didn't work, so the empty lines for hero say get ignored. What if I print out a space? Will that work? Okay, that looks weird, but as you can see, it works. If I switch over the empty lines and the lines containing the game seconds, it will still work, and we can like print something on a specific line in game. I've placed the meaningful text in the 3rd line, and as you can see, it stays in the 3rd line. I kinda want to remove that little Arx symbol from the beginning of those lines, and if I go into graph, interface, and then icons maybe? Yes, here it is. Replace this Arx logo 32.bmp with a blank image, which I'm going to shamelessly copy from Arx level generator, then hopefully that will be good enough to erase that logo from the HUD. Graph, interface, icons, and let me copy over the file name. And hopefully that will work. Indeed it does. Now we have a static display on top of the screen. Even works better if I hide the minimap, so it's like a display for the HUD. A very limited one, and it reminds me very much of these displays that can be seen on various locations. Excuse me, can you stop spitting on my earlobe? I'm utilizing this hero say display HUD thing in the now rebranded Katamari Damacy clone map for Arx, which can be found here, and also if you go to arxtools.github.io, then it will be under the proof of concept work in progress content, specifically the first map. Go down there, check it out. The latest release is 1.2.0, and let's see what's new in there, and also how I'm utilizing the display. You can see that quite a few things have been improved here since we last looked at this a couple of days ago. We have more NPCs, like you can see that Goblin Lord over there, and I'm going to ensure you guys that there are more coming. And also I added light so that it is actually visible now, but the floor is still cancer to look at. Also, I utilize this HUD thing for displaying the player size at all time, and that will be really cool. Just check it out. I'm going to eat this little fella.
Ouch!
Immediately it shows that we have gained a bit of size.
Ouch!
And as you can hear, I replaced the eating sound with the goblin ouch sounds, or whatever the creature's sound is.
You wanting trade gemstones?
You look bad.
See a lot.
Ooh, new bumping sounds. So instead of the eating sounds, which are getting repetitive quite fast, I'm using different sounds for every type of entity, and also they have now a different bump sound based on their miscellaneous reflections. For the Ilsids, they don't really have much to say, so I'm consuming them with that sound, and well, he's a bit too big. Let me find a smaller one. That should be good.
Password.
I'm using the only sentence that he speaks to us.
Password.
Okay, let's gather a couple of these fellas.
Not out, you man.
Trust me, this will get comedic if I add enough variety of creatures here. I also tweaked the sizes of the NPCs so that I think I can guarantee now that you will be able to consume the main boss of the level, which is the Goblin King.
Ouch. Ow.
And once you reach 300 centimeters, then you will be able to consume the king. And here I will try to create a little lobby-like location where you can restart the map, but let me just restart everything. Another thing I discovered is that the debug tools are a bit buggy. I have the collision shapes on, and it seems like every collision shape is over at, I think, 0, 0, 0 coordinates, way ahead. That red thing in the distance is that one. Let me enable one line of code in the script files, and you will see an interesting behavior. Okay, watch out, ear rape warning. I don't know what's happening, but it looks like every collision, or most of the NPC's collisions, got detected by the player, even though I never collided with any of them. And it gets worse if I stand into any of the existing collisions, even into ones that have been hidden already. How did I consume that goblin way over there? It's definitely a bit buggy, if you ask me. And I'm almost 300 in size while almost consuming nothing. Well, this is a sure way of growing. Okay, so don't use the collision shapes debug tool when you are on this map because it is going to be a bit hectic. Also, I don't know what that spherical thing over there is. Very interesting, if you ask me. I'm fairly sure it's the collision shape of a marker that I'm using. Or for the player, for myself. Here, king, 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 here. I don't know what's happening, guys. When victory is happening, I'm disabling the movements of the player, so we are stuck here in this infinitely growing stuff. Okay, so I started creating these definitions for different entities of the level, and also, if I go here, I have what I call the distributions of the NPCs. So Ilsets are 10%, Goblin Lords are 30%, and the simple basic goblin is 60% of the NPCs. I tried adding a carrot, and of course it doesn't work because Arcane has to do specialized behavior to different type of entities. So while you have collision for NPCs, you cannot have any collision detection for provisions and items and movable stuff. Like, I thought we can use this to create our own content for the game, but with these restrictions, what you can create in the Arx engine is only Arx itself. Alright everyone, here I am in Windows 11 for a change, and we are going to do something interesting today. We are going to code.
Oh my god, bro. Hell.
Let me boot up. Visual Studio 2022. Okay, let's do a C++ console application. Run code in a Windows terminal, prints hello world by default. Absolutely perfect for us. Next, and I'm not going to call this console application 2, but instead hello world. And I'm going to place the solution and project in the same directory. I'm gonna remember the folder, it's C users lolly source repos. Alright, should be good enough. Create. Oh, I'm so excited, guys. Here we have our very basic script, or code in this case, it's more than a script. And this is the thing that we are interested in. Everything else in green is just comments. I don't know if I can zoom in this, and I'm fairly sure I'm going to break something if I zoom in. Just trust me for a sec with this. It's int main, and the code that simply, what it does is, it's calling out this std cout, and it's printing out hello world exclamation point and putting a new line after it. Release, creating a release build, and then go to build and build hello world. Okay, that was quick. Let me go into the folder where it is actually created. This PC, C, users, lolly, source, repos, and here's the hello world that we created. And it's in the x64 as a 64-bit version. Release, and here's the hello world.exe. Wow, we created an exe file instead of the usual mess of ASL files that can only be understood by Arx Fatalis. Opening a terminal in this folder. Very good, and it should be hello tab. Very good, it should be hello world.exe. Let's run it. Indeed, it prints out hello world.
Nobody gives a shit.
But I'm a bit worried now that this program is not safe for me to run, even though I wrote it and I know what is here. But what if I want to send this to my friends? Let me do something that is someone who has good OPSEC practices would do in this case, and let me just check it with a ton of antivirus softwares. And what better tool we could use for this than the very famous virustotal page, which like checks your files against 67 or so antivirus companies. So I'm copying this file and pasting it into the downloads as I am being able to find the exe file better in that folder. Here's virustotal's homepage where I can just choose a file by simply selecting it from this folder. This is the downloads folder. Told you I can find it more easily here. And let's see how it works. Confirm upload. Very good. It's checking it. Green means good. Hello, what's that red? Guess we should wait until everyone's done with checking it. I'm a bit concerned now, guys. Okay, so what's the verdict? It's dangerous, it's malicious, guys. 8 out of 72 security vendors flagged the very simple Hello World application as malicious. And they say that it's probably a Trojan. Okay, so Google said that detected. Very useful information. Secure Age, malicious. Zilia, don't know what that is, says that it's a Trojan, specifically this, whatever this ID is. Trojan Cryptic, another Cryptic, AI detect malware, Trojan. I mean, at this point, I can't really say anything to this. Like, how can I make anything in this day and age where the simplest piece of code, the very basics of every programming language, this printing out of Hello World, triggers more than 10% of the security vendors, and everyone's flagging it as malicious? What I'm trying to make as a point here is that how can anyone trust any of these overly sensitive antivirus companies when they get triggered for the most simplest things out there? So every time the discussion comes up whether Arx Fatalis is a virus or not, I have to remind myself and everyone else that we get results like this using pages like virustotal. Alright guys, the baseline of this little rant on antivirus softwares is that if you are not feeling comfortable with installing Arx Fatalis on your computer, then don't install it. Sadly, currently this is the only way to make Arx Fatalis run properly without any issues on your computer, but if you are again not comfortable with installing it because an antivirus software says that it's malicious, or you couldn't download it because Chrome blocked it, then just don't install it. Unless if you want to, then you can always whitelist it. My other comment here would be that you are in control of your computer, you can make the decisions, and you can always whitelist the file to get passed through these softwares, so don't let these software control you, and don't let intimidated by red text like that Trojan Cryptic at AI81 whatever this is. Especially if they don't provide any explanation on what this is and why this is dangerous and why should I be afraid of stuff like this. Alright guys, that's it for me for today. I will see you all in the next episode of Hacktoberfest. See you all. Hello. Egy, két, há, és... Lemegyek a boltba, veszek egy sört, megiszom a sört, és visszaviszem a palackot a visszaváltóba, 50 forintot kapok érte. Totál megéri. Nagyon jól járok, és védem a környezetet. Szarok a repjeim. Na jó.